What if the food you eat every single day is quietly clogging your arteries, without any pain, without any symptoms, and without you even knowing it? It sounds dramatic, I know, but it's more common than you think. Your heart works non-stop, day and night, pumping blood through thousands of miles of arteries. And yet, many people between the ages of 40 and 65 have no idea that these vital pathways may be slowly filling with plaque, all because of what's regularly on their plate. Not because they're eating fast food every day, not because they don't care about their health, but because some of the most artery-damaging foods are hiding in plain sight, often disguised as healthy choices. Have you ever felt short of breath going up the stairs, even when you're not out of shape? Woken up with swollen feet, or noticed that your energy just disappears halfway through the day? These things might seem like a normal part of aging. But here's the truth. They're not. They could be early signs of poor circulation. They could be your arteries whispering for help. And yes, the food you eat plays a much bigger role than most people realize. Now, before you rush to search for another restrictive diet or complicated detox plan, take a deep breath. This is not about fear. This is about taking back control with real, natural steps that are simple and effective. Because believe it or not, there are everyday ingredients, things you might already have in your kitchen, that can help support healthy arteries, lower cholesterol naturally, and even reverse some of the damage done over the years. And once you understand how certain foods affect your cardiovascular system, once you realize how easily inflammation can build up inside your body, you'll never look at your meals the same way again. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover may surprise you, especially if you've been trying to eat healthy, but still struggle with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or just a general sense that your body isn't working quite like it used to. This video isn't just for people already diagnosed with heart issues. It's for anyone who wants to avoid them, for those who want to wake up feeling more energized, less foggy, and with a stronger heart for the long run. You don't need to be a doctor or a nutritionist to make smart choices. You just need to understand what's really happening inside your body and what you can do starting today to give it a better chance. Because here's something no one talks about. Many people who suffer heart attacks or strokes never saw it coming. They thought they were fine until they weren't. But you're here now, and that already puts you ahead. So let's not waste that. Let's dig deeper into the hidden foods that may be doing more harm than good, and then I'll show you which natural alternatives can help your arteries stay clear and strong for years to come. Ready? Let's start by taking a look at the warning signs you might already be feeling, even if you've been ignoring them until now. And maybe, as I've been speaking, something started to click, a moment you remembered. Maybe a time when you felt unusually tired for no reason, or a day when your heart just felt off, even though all your tests came back normal. Or perhaps someone you love went through something sudden, a heart issue that seemed to come out of nowhere. These stories are more common than we think, and honestly, that's exactly why this conversation matters so much. If this topic resonates with you, I'd truly love to hear what stood out most to you in the comments. Maybe it's something you've been wondering about for a while, or a small change you've made that made a big difference. Your experience might be the thing that gives someone else the clarity or encouragement they've been needing. And if you feel this kind of information is important, if it made you reflect or see things a little differently, go ahead and tap the like button. It might seem like a small gesture, but it genuinely tells YouTube, hey, this matters. Show this to more people who need it. Because the truth is, when you like a video like this, it doesn't just help me. It helps someone else who's scrolling right now, looking for answers just like you were. And if you want more of these practical, down-to-earth conversations about natural health, about how to take care of your body without fear, stress, or complicated jargon, subscribe to the channel. Not just so you don't miss the next video, but because your voice here is what keeps this channel alive. It's what helps this community grow into a space where real people talk about real solutions, with kindness and care. I built this space for people like us who don't want to ignore the signs, who believe in the power of natural healing, and who want to feel empowered in their own health journey. So if that's you, I'm really glad you're here. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the everyday foods that might be secretly working against your heart, and why even the ones labeled healthy might not be telling the whole story. You won't feel it. No pain. No warning signs. But clogged arteries are one of the leading causes of heart attacks and strokes, especially after the age of 40. And the scariest part? Most people are eating the very foods making it worse. Thinking they're healthy, you won't feel it happen, not like a headache or a sore knee that reminds you it's there. When your arteries begin to clog, it's quiet. So quiet that most people never realize until something major happens. And by then, it's no longer about prevention. It's about recovery. That's why understanding this before it becomes an emergency is one of the most powerful decisions you can make for your health. See, we're often taught to listen to our bodies. But what if the signals are so subtle, so masked by daily routines, that they get buried under normal life? Tired after lunch? Maybe I didn't sleep well? Numbness in your hands? Must be bad posture. A little tightness in the chest? Probably just stress. These explanations feel harmless, until they're not. And here's the hidden truth most people don't talk about. The foods contributing to this silent threat aren't always deep-fried or covered in grease. In fact, some of the biggest culprits wear healthy disguises. Low-fat snacks, diet options, sugar-free alternatives, energy bars filled with artificial ingredients. They sound like smart choices. But behind the scenes, many are packed with inflammatory oils, excess sodium, and chemicals that do far more harm than good over time. This isn't just about what shows up on a food label. It's about the impact those ingredients have on your blood vessels, your circulation, your brain, your heart. And the scariest part? The damage doesn't scream. It whispers, slowly. After 40, your body begins to shift. Metabolism slows, hormones change, and your cardiovascular system becomes less forgiving. That's why small daily choices, your mindset around food, your relationship with movement, the way you hydrate, even how you handle stress, start to matter more than ever. This isn't about guilt or fear. It's about reclaiming power through awareness. Because once you see what's really going on, you can start transforming the outcome. Every plate becomes a tool. Every habit becomes a vote for your future health. And that shift? It's a quiet kind of revolution. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. That small ache in your legs when you walk, the fog that settles in after a heavy meal, the swelling in your ankles at the end of the day, none of it is random. It's your body trying to speak to you before things go too far. The question is, are we listening? And I get it. There's so much conflicting information out there. Low carb, high fat, fasting, superfoods, miracle pills. It's exhausting. But what I've found, through research, stories, and experience, is that simplicity often holds the most truth. The most transformation doesn't come from extremes. It comes from consistent, mindful decisions made with clarity and intention. That's what rewires our health, not just physically, but emotionally too. Because when you start honoring your body, something else shifts. Your confidence, your energy, your connection with yourself. And suddenly what once felt overwhelming starts to feel possible. Now I want to go even deeper into this, because the biggest problem isn't just what we don't know. It's what we think we know that turns out to be wrong. And some of the most common, healthy foods might actually be creating more harm than help. Drop this in the comments. This makes sense to me. Ever feel numbness in your hands or feet? Tired for no reason? Brain fog or shortness of breath when climbing stairs? These may seem normal with age, but they're often early signs of poor circulation caused by clogged arteries. And here's where things get personal. Because this is where so many people miss the signs, not out of carelessness, but because life teaches us to normalize discomfort. Feeling tired by mid-afternoon? Just push through. A little numbness in your feet? Probably just bad shoes. That shortness of breath while going up the stairs? I really should exercise more. We brush it off, assign harmless labels, and move on. But what if those subtle symptoms were actually quiet warnings, not alarms, but whispers, signals from within saying, "Hey, something's off. Pay attention." This is where real transformation begins, not in a doctor's office, but in the mindset shift that happens when you finally realize that your body has been speaking all along. You just weren't told how to listen. That low energy after eating? It could be your blood struggling to circulate, the tingling in your hands when you wake up. Maybe it's more than sleep posture. The brain fog, the fatigue, the swelling. It's not just age. It's often a sign that the flow of life inside you is being slowed, narrowed, restricted. And that restriction starts from what you put into your body every single day. Behind the scenes, the arteries that carry oxygen-rich blood to your heart, brain, and organs are affected by more than just genetics. They respond to choices. They react to patterns. And if you're noticing that your focus, memory, or even your emotions feel off, there might be a deeper root than stress or aging. This is about circulation, oxygen, nourishment. Every cell in your body depends on it. And when that flow is compromised, your whole system begins to struggle. It may not be dramatic. It may not send you to the hospital right away. But over time, it builds. And that slow buildup? That's where the hidden truth lives. Because here's something most people don't hear. The body keeps score. And it remembers every decision. The ultra-processed snack you reached for out of convenience. The sugary cereal that seemed harmless because it had a heart check on the box. The bottled beverage labeled 0 fat, but filled with chemicals and artificial flavors. These choices don't scream at first, but over time, they write a story inside you. One of inflammation, narrowing vessels, sluggish circulation. And the symptoms? They arrive slowly, dressed up as normal aging. But make no mistake, they're signals. And when you learn to see them for what they are, you start to reclaim your role in this journey. Because that's what this really is. A journey. Not toward perfection, but toward awareness, toward healing, and toward a new kind of clarity that says, I'm done ignoring what I feel. I'm ready to see the full picture. That's where power begins, not in panic, but in presence. And as you begin connecting the dots between what you eat, how you feel, and the signals your body sends, you start making different decisions, not out of fear, but out of respect for the vessel that carries you through life. Now, I want to go even deeper into this, because the next step is understanding why so many of these symptoms start in the kitchen, not in the body, and how some of the most common so-called healthy foods may actually be setting the stage for everything we've just talked about. Just write in the comments, I'm on this journey too. Here's the shocker. Some foods advertised as heart-friendly are secretly loaded with trans fats, sodium, or added sugars. Low-fat cheese, margarine, light salad dressings. They sound healthy, but they might be silently damaging your arteries every single day. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you, because it certainly surprised me when I first began uncovering it. You see, one of the biggest barriers to lasting health isn't junk food. It's not fast food. It's not even the sugary snacks you know you shouldn't be eating. No, the real threat often comes from the foods you've been told were healthy. The ones you picked up at the store thinking you were doing the right thing. And that's where this hidden truth gets deeply frustrating, because the labels lie. Or at the very least, they distract you from what really matters. Think about it. How many times have you grabbed something off the shelf because it said low fat, light, sugar-free, or even heart-healthy? It feels like a good decision. But when you flip the package and actually read the ingredients, that's where the story changes. Suddenly, you see artificial sweeteners, hydrogenated oils, preservatives with names you can't pronounce, and enough sodium to spike your blood pressure in a single bite. These are not harmless little details. They are choices that carry weight. Every time you trust a label without question, you're handing over the reins of your health to marketing departments instead of your own awareness. And this is where the mindset shift happens. Because health is not about eating light products, it's about eating smart. Understanding how your body reacts not just to sugar or fat, but to inflammation. And that's the key word here: inflammation. Chronic, low-grade internal inflammation is the quiet architect behind so many health struggles: clogged arteries, fatigue, brain fog, joint pain. And what feeds that inflammation most? Artificial oils, processed ingredients, and chemically altered healthy foods that have been stripped of their natural balance. Let's take margarine, for example. It was once marketed as the perfect heart-healthy alternative to butter. But it's made with industrial seed oils that are chemically processed and oxidize easily, triggering inflammation at the cellular level. Or consider light salad dressings. They remove the natural fats your body actually needs and replace them with sugar, emulsifiers, and flavor enhancers, all of which spike your insulin and create chaos in your system. And don't get me started on low-fat cheeses packed with stabilizers and artificial flavorings to make up for the taste they lost when they removed the fat. Behind the scenes, these foods change the rhythm of your body. They may not make you feel sick right away, but they slowly shift the chemistry of your blood, your hormones, your cardiovascular function. Over time, that's what creates the conditions where plaque can form, arteries can harden, and circulation begins to suffer. And all the while, you might be thinking, "I'm doing everything right." That's the painful irony. The transformation doesn't happen just from avoiding junk food. It happens when you start questioning the labels that pretend to help, but actually harm. And this isn't about fear, it's about clarity. When you know what's actually in your food, you're no longer reacting, you're deciding. You're stepping into a new chapter of your health journey with sharper awareness and stronger intention. You're choosing to see beyond the branding, to tune into what your body truly needs, and to make decisions that align with your future, not just your cravings. Now, I want to go even deeper into this, because understanding how arteries actually get clogged isn't just about what goes into your mouth. It's about what happens next, inside your body. The process is more visual, more dramatic, and more preventable than most people realize. Drop this in the comments. Now I see the truth. Let's simplify it. Imagine your arteries as water pipes. When you pour greasy, sugary, or processed stuff down the drain, it sticks. Over time, it builds up. Blood has to fight to get through. Your heart suffers. Your brain suffers. But there's good news. Let's bring this down to something we can all visualize. Imagine a pipe running through your house. A clean, wide pipe that lets water flow freely and easily. Now imagine that over time, every time you rinse off something greasy, thick, or full of residue, a bit of that junk clings to the inside of the pipe. Not enough to notice right away. Not enough to block the flow completely. Just a thin film here, a sticky patch there, but days pass, then months, then years, and slowly that once clear pathway begins to narrow. The water still flows, but now it has to squeeze through. It slows down. Pressure builds, and eventually, that pipe becomes vulnerable, clogged, unstable, one push away from bursting. This is exactly how your arteries behave when fed a consistent stream of processed foods, trans fats, refined sugars, and artificial additives. At first, your body compensates. It adapts. But beneath the surface, inflammation begins to form. Tiny cracks develop along the artery walls. The body, in its wisdom, sends cholesterol to patch those cracks, because that's what cholesterol does. It's a repair agent. But when the inflammation never stops, when your diet keeps pouring in irritants, the damage doesn't heal. It builds. The cholesterol hardens. Calcium joins the mix. And what starts as a protective response turns into a growing blockage. This buildup is called plaque, and plaque doesn't just sit there. It narrows the arteries, restricting the very lifeline that carries oxygen and nutrients to every corner of your body. Your heart begins to work harder just to push blood through those tight spaces. Your brain receives less oxygen. Your kidneys get less filtration. Your muscles feel heavier, slower, less energized, and all of this happens silently, often without a single sharp pain or warning sign, until the moment the blockage becomes critical. That's the hidden threat, the one so many people never see coming. But understanding the how behind this process isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to empower you. Because the body is always trying to heal. It just needs the right conditions. And when you stop feeding it things that inflame and block the arteries and start giving it foods that cleanse, nourish, and repair, you begin a true transformation. Not just of your physical health, but of your relationship with your body. You go from surviving on autopilot to thriving with intention. This shift in awareness, this moment where you truly understand what's been happening inside you, it's a revelation. And from that place, your decisions start to change. You stop blindly trusting food packages and start tuning in to how things actually make you feel. You stop chasing short-term flavor highs and begin building long-term vitality. That's the kind of mindset that creates lasting health, and that's where everything begins to move in your favor. Now, I want to go even deeper into this, because once you understand the problem, the next step is discovering the natural solutions, the foods that actually clean your arteries, the ingredients that don't just nourish you, but protect you from within. Just write in the comments. I needed to hear this. Let's name them processed meats, like bacon and sausage, refined vegetable oils, sugary breakfast cereals. These create inflammation, damage your artery walls, and raise your LDL, bad cholesterol. Now that you can picture exactly how plaque forms and how quietly it can take hold inside your arteries, the next natural question is, what's making it worse? What foods are quietly fueling this storm of inflammation and damage, all while blending in with our normal routines? Let's pull back the curtain on the truth, because this isn't about guessing or fear-mongering. This is about clarity, and sometimes clarity stings a little, especially when it challenges foods we've grown up with, foods we associate with comfort, convenience, even joy. But the moment you see them for what they are, the moment you connect how they make you feel, that's when real change begins. Let's start with one of the most deceptive culprits. Processed meats, bacon, sausage, deli slices, hot dogs, they're everywhere. Marketed as quick protein, packed into breakfast, lunch, even keto-friendly snacks. But behind the scenes, these foods are loaded with preservatives like nitrates and nitrites, known to damage the delicate lining of your blood vessels. They're also high in saturated fats and sodium, a double punch that spikes blood pressure and fuels systemic inflammation. And the worst part? They don't just harm silently, they're addictive. The salt, the fat, the texture, it's engineered to keep you coming back. But every bite adds to the burden on your arteries, pushing your body further from balance. Next up, refined vegetable oils. Canola, soybean, corn, safflower. They're everywhere, in dressings, frozen meals, restaurant food, and even so-called healthy snacks. These oils are highly processed, stripped of nutrients, and oxidize easily, meaning they become unstable under heat and light. Once inside your body, they can disrupt your omega balance, driving inflammation deeper into your tissues. It's one of the hidden truths of modern nutrition. The fats we were told were safe for our hearts are, in many cases, making things worse. Your body needs fat, but it needs the right kind, in the right form. And unfortunately, most refined oils don't deliver that. And then there's the silent saboteur in millions of homes, sugary breakfast cereals. They arrive in colorful boxes, promising energy, vitamins, whole grains. But most of them are a blood sugar disaster waiting to happen. Hidden behind the cheerful packaging is a blend of ultra-refined grains, artificial flavors, synthetic vitamins, and loads of added sugar. These cereals spike your glucose, create insulin roller coasters, and promote the exact kind of inflammation that lays the groundwork for arterial damage. They may wake you up, but they wear you down. And what's even more heartbreaking, they're often marketed to kids, starting the cycle of damage before the body even has a chance to protect itself. When you start recognizing these foods for what they really are, not just products on a shelf, but substances with real biochemical impact, you start to reclaim something powerful, your awareness. Because with every bite, your body is responding. It's either healing or defending, either building up vitality or trying to clean up the mess. And when you begin to view food not as a reward or restriction, but as information, as energy, as a tool, you unlock an entirely new level of freedom. One where your decisions carry weight but no longer feel like punishment. One where your meals become part of your healing, not your harm. Now I want to go even deeper into this because there's another side to the story, the hopeful side. The one where you discover that nature, in all its brilliance, has already provided powerful foods that can do the opposite, reduce inflammation, support your arteries, and give your body the reset it's been quietly asking for. Drop this in the comments. This changes how I see food. Now the good news. Nature has powerful foods that naturally unclog your arteries. These are rich in antioxidants, fiber, and healthy fats. Garlic avocados, leafy greens, turmeric berries. Add them to your meals, and you may notice changes in energy, blood pressure, and even memory. Now I want to go even deeper into this, because here's where things begin to shift. While some foods quietly sabotage your health, others work behind the scenes to protect, heal, and restore. Nature has always held the blueprint for transformation. Inside certain fruits, roots, leaves, and seeds are compounds designed not just to nourish, but to fight inflammation, clean the walls of your arteries, and support blood flow where your body needs it most. These aren't rare, exotic superfoods. They're humble, everyday heroes. And when you start building your meals around them, something changes. Not just in your body, but in your mindset. Food stops being the enemy and starts becoming the medicine. That's when you begin to feel different, think clearer, breathe easier. It's not a miracle. It's biology, finally working in your favor. Just write in the comments, I believe in healing through nature. You don't need a complicated detox. Just swap the bad for the good for 7 days. More plants, less processed stuff, more water, less soda, more movement, less sitting, simple shifts, just massive impact. You'll feel it in your body and mind. Now I want to go even deeper into this because awareness is only the first step. Real transformation comes when you apply it. And the beauty is, it doesn't take months or drastic diets. In just 1 week, your body can begin to shift. When you remove what inflames and replace it with what heals, the impact is felt quickly. Your mind gets clearer, your energy steadier, your sleep deeper. It's like your system starts breathing again. This isn't about restriction, it's about renewal. You're giving your body a chance to reset, to restore, to remember what it feels like to function freely. And that feeling, it's powerful. Just drop this in the comments. I'm giving my body a reset. If this is so powerful, why don't more doctors talk about it? Many focus on medication because it's fast, but prevention, that's in your hands. Science does back this up, and millions are turning to natural solutions with real results. Now I want to go even deeper into this, because one question always lingers. If this is so effective, why haven't I heard it from my doctor? And it's a fair question. The truth is, many doctors aren't trained in nutritional healing. Their focus, often out of necessity, is on managing symptoms quickly. Medication brings fast results. It's efficient. But prevention? That takes time, conversation, and a mindset shift. It puts the power back in your hands. And that's not part of the usual system. But the science is there. The stories are there. And more people are waking up to that truth. Not because someone told them, but because they felt the change. Just write in the comments, I'm ready to take control. So the big question is, are you ready to take control of your heart health, starting today? If this video helped you, don't keep it to yourself. Hit the like button, subscribe for more natural health secrets, and share this with someone you love. It might just save their life. Now I want to go even deeper into this, because at some point, it all comes down to one thing. choice. Not the kind that's loud or dramatic, but the quiet decision made in the middle of your everyday life. The moment you choose to stop ignoring the signals. The moment you decide that your health isn't just something you manage, it's something you own. That shift, it's powerful. Because when you stop waiting for someone else to save you and start listening to what your body's been trying to say, that's when the real journey begins. Not a perfect one, but an honest one, and that's more than enough. Just write in the comments, "I'm choosing my health today." Now, if you've made it all the way here, that already tells me something. This topic didn't just pass through your screen, it resonated with you. So here's a gentle invitation. If this content brought you clarity, comfort, or even just a pause to reflect, tap that like button. It helps more than you think, and it's a simple, quiet way of saying, "This spoke to me." And if you felt this was worth your time, consider subscribing. That way, you stay close to this kind of conversation. Honest, real, and grounded in what truly matters. We're building something aqui. And your presence? Faz toda a diferença. Before you go, I'd love to know, were you here with me till the end? Drop a quick comment saying, "I'm with you till the end." It may look like a small phrase, but it means everything. It tells me this message reached the right person at the right time. And hey, there's another video right here that continues this journey. Click on it and come with me. We've still got so much to uncover, together.